here for ages. I was just looking through my live streams. I do my recorded videos every week, and I thought I'll just go live because this is something that I was going to do as part of my Motivation Monday, but then I thought, you know what, there's probably a lot more that you can get from it through me doing a live stream. So if you're watching this and you come on here live, then just leave your comments, let me know what you think. You can also share this with other people, and you can also watch the replay, so if you don't get a chance to watch it when I'm going live. And all I want to talk about in this video is personal development as a lifestyle. And personal development it's always been big, it's always been popular. There's loads of gurus and motivational speakers on YouTube that talk about personal development. Jim Rohn, and that's spelled R-O-H-N, you spell his surname, has always been someone that's been an advocate for personal development. He says you should work harder on yourself than you do on your job. I remember I was in the Seychelles in October and I was doing all of Jim Rohn quotes. Every day I'd get up, I'd have to be in the shower or in the bath, and I'd be listening to his motivational speeches. And then I made a few little clips when I was on holiday about, what he was saying. It really helped me. Even whilst I was on holiday, just relaxing, just enjoying myself, listening to his stuff, still just gave me that little boost that I needed. So personal development is really just what it says. It's about developing yourself as a person, evolving, constantly, becoming more self-aware, constantly working on yourself to improve yourself, to make changes, to review and reflect on your beliefs, your mindset, your, values, to just improve your life. Now, you have to do that not when someone says to you, do some affirmations, or not when someone says to you, you need to do A, B, and C, or this will help. It's personal development as a lifestyle means it is exactly what it says. It means you're changing your life, but you're operating in a way that you're going to be doing that for the rest of your life. You're going to incorporate it into your habits. You're incorporating it into your beliefs. You're incorporating it into your routines, the way that you think about yourself, the way that you believe that you can develop yourself. It starts with how it's not just the words, it's the action. So a good example would be if you're someone that talks to yourself in a negative way, or someone that doubts yourself and needs constant validation, or someone that is not really self-aware, you'll do something and then it's kind of like you always questioning, why did I do that? Where did that come from? I don't know how this impacts on me or where that's come from. That's where you would probably need self-development, really, and you'd use it, personal development, as a way of a tool of you understanding yourself more. So me as a person, I'll never use negative self-talk towards myself. I don't even understand that concept of doing that, because why would I call myself names or beat myself up when it's like I'm only going to hurt myself by doing that? So although unconsciously that is something which it comes from somewhere, that's how personal development will help you, because you will identify where's that coming from, why is that voice there calling you names or saying that you're stupid. It's come from somewhere, and usually it's either from a relationship that someone might have been in, it could be from childhood, it could be from, lots of different events that have happened in your life. That's how personal development can help you, because what you'd be doing is trying to understand. You're not judging yourself. You're not criticizing yourself. You're not saying I have to be perfect. I can't fail. I have to do this. I care what other people think. You're saying, what will help me to improve how I operate as a person? You operate and function in a different way when you have belief in yourself. You operate differently when you don't really care. It's not, and all this stuff where there's these books about F this and You Are a Badass is a good book, because that's not just a title to sell books. She really does talk about, confidence within yourself. But all these FU books and all these, books that are trying to pump people up with swearing or with shouting or none of that stuff. Whoever's joined, thanks for joining. I'm not saying that those books are going to be enough for you to just get to that point where you believe in yourself. What you have to do is you need to start from within by saying, it's not that I'm never going to say, I don't care what anyone thinks. And that's with all these F you and F this person and you're a bad boss and bad B boss and all this other stuff. It's not about walking around thinking that you are fantastic and that you don't care what anyone thinks. I think the key thing is people's validation isn't the thing that drives you, or what people think about you isn't the thing that's going to impact on your ability to do things. So you're not going to make a decision or decide something and then check with 10 people, and if those people say to you don't do it, then you're not going to do it. Or you're not the type of person who feels, I can't do this because people are going to be looking at me. I can't do this because everyone's going to judge me. I can't do this because I'm going to fail. I can't do this because my parents wouldn't approve. I can't do this because my partner is going to, I can't wear this because my partner is going to think this, or whatever it is. You have to think that means that you're losing a part of yourself so that another person will feel good, because that person then will be saying, yes, you've been a good little child, because as my daughter or my son, you haven't gone ahead and done that. Or your partner will be saying, yes, I've put that condition on you. Unconsciously, I've said that if you wear certain clothes, or if you act in a certain way, or if you're friends with another person of the opposite sex, or if you do this and that, then it's going to cause a problem in our relationship. So then you're going to go along with it. Personal development means you trust yourself more than you trust anyone else to make decisions for you. So although I will go to someone for advice, because, we don't live in a bubble, although I will go to someone for help, especially if I don't know how to do something. I mean, when it comes to computers, putting up shelves, anything to do with cars, anything to do, there's a million gardens, there's a million things that I can't do, and I'm okay with that. I don't want to be able to do absolutely everything. There's lots of information in my head as it is. I don't need to learn more stuff that someone else can do. So I'll go to the experts, but there'll never be a situation where someone would be able to tell me how I feel more than I can understand how I feel myself. That's personal development, because someone might say, you're upset about this, aren't you? Or they'll make assumptions. And if you're someone that will just go with that, you'll say, yeah, do you know what? I didn't even know that myself, but you've just told me how to think or how to feel. And that's the other thing where people get mistaken about counselling. When you're in therapy, your therapist is alongside you. Your therapist is helping you to shine that light on you. But that self-awareness comes from you. I say to my clients, I didn't discover that for you. You discovered it for yourself, but I just helped you to shine a light on it. So when you're self-aware and you're doing personal development stuff, you're shining a light on everything along the way. So when something happens, you're not saying, well, it's this person's fault, and the reason I got angry in the car and got out of the car and had an argument with that driver was because he cut me off. You're saying, do you know what I mean? I'm in the car and I'm getting angry, and I need to understand what's going on for me. That self-awareness is taking responsibility for your actions, not blaming other people for when you do something. Not saying, well, you're the one that took me out of my character. You're the one that made me do this. You made me cry. You made me upset. You triggered me. You made me react like this. Personal development and also just being self-aware means that you say, I did that. I got triggered by something and I decided to punch that person. I got angry and I decided that the option was to punch the wall. I was upset and tearful, and it wasn't my partner that led me to cry. I was upset and tearful because I wasn't feeling heard, and that's because me feeling heard is really important in my life. That's self-awareness. That is you taking responsibility. And when you take responsibility for not only your behaviour but your thinking and your actions and everything in life, it's the burden is taken off you as a person. Because then you don't have to, because if you blame something on another person, then when that person is no longer there, what are you going to do then? You're not going to know why something is happening. Whereas if you take 100% responsibility, this is coming on to another video I made, I think, for the motivation bit. It's just easier. Life is easier when I make decisions and I don't need to check with another person about that decision. Or if that decision doesn't work out, which does happen, if I make financial decisions as a business owner and it was the wrong decision to make, or if I make a decision in my personal life and I regret it, then I'll either learn something from it, or I take a responsibility because it was my decision that I made, but it still falls on me, and I still always feel that it gives me more empowerment than me asking someone. Then they make the decision for me, and then me saying to them, why did you tell me to do that? And that's the main thing as a counsellor. We never say you need to do A, B, and C. We might say to someone who's not happy in their relationship, have you considered this? Or you might make a little suggestion, or you might help that person, empower them to come to that decision, but you would never directly say, I think you should leave that relationship, or I think you should move to that country, or I think this. Because it's going down the wrong path. Personal development is about changing as a human being. It's about becoming self-aware, and mainly it's about creating habits and maintaining them. Your habits that you create when you're along this personal development journey means that every habit that you have is for the benefit of you. That's what it's called, personal development. It's not called social development. Do you know what I mean? You can be part of like a community, and you can share your ideas, and we're all linked with each other anyway, so you can't live in the world and not interact with other people. Yesterday, I ordered, I was so late. It wasn't that I was lazy, actually. I didn't have time because I was doing my like helpline, and then I realised that I didn't have food. Like today I've been out, I've got sandwiches, got my food. Yesterday I was like, what am I going to have for lunch? Because I didn't have any lunch in. So then I ordered Deliveroo. I ordered some stuff from Sainsbury's. It was really nice. The nicest sandwich, by the way, Sainsbury's BLT. And as I was coming up, I was like, the delivery driver was far away from me, so I called him. I was calling him towards me like this, and then he got to me, and then I gave him the code, and then I took the food, and we just had a nice little interaction. And then as I was walking past a random person, just started talking to me then, say, hello, what's your name? And I was thinking, I've got to get back to work because I've got lunch. But it was nice. And what I'm trying to say from all of that is that we're all interact with each other on some level, so you can't be in a bubble. But when you're self-aware and you're confident within who you are, then you don't have all these barriers which are around, that person is a woman and I'm a man, so therefore that divide means I can't connect with that person. That person is black or brown-skinned, I'm white-skinned, so I can't connect with them on that level. You connect on a human level. It's not about age. The differences are there, they're present, they're obvious. To me, that is not like, that's part of being alive. Who wants to walk around with everyone that is exactly the same? You're not going to learn anything from that person, those people that are the same as you. You learn from people that are different from you. You even learn sometimes negative things. I remember, and I'm not going to go on too much. I always tend to go off when I'm off on a tangent. I remember I did Camp America, so I went to America. And after we'd done the camp and stuff, we'd go on these little outings. And I was in Washington, and there was a Ku Klux Klan rally. Listen to this, I was in my 20s. A Ku Klux Klan rally was going on in Washington at the same time as we were visiting. And there was me and other black members of like the counseling. I don't know why, but I didn't feel like scared, or I didn't feel bothered. And I don't know what the reason was, because now looking back, and even after when I came back, I thought that could have been really dangerous, because they were serious. This is not like these far-right groups in the UK. These people, do you know what I mean, go far out. They do like literally kill people and stuff. I don't know what, I just, in my mind, I just blocked out like the fact that, and a part of me, I suppose, is because I believe in freedom of speech, in the sense of, I'm not here to convince anyone to like me. And I'm definitely not there to convince someone to like me based on something I can't change. I can change my personality. I can change certain things, but I can't change being a woman. So if you don't like women, then what am I going to have a conversation with you about women for, or liking me? If you don't like black people, what am I going to have a conversation with you about liking me, when you've made your mind up? And that's up to you. So I suppose it might have been that. That's how we were raised, like with my dad and my mum. That we don't have to convince people to like us. We just have to live our like truth, and we just have to be ourselves. And that's part of the personal development journey as well. Confidence within yourself. If someone on YouTube, on Facebook, on or social media, or even in person, makes a decision or a choice that they have an issue with either you as a person or with something, what we need to stop doing is absorbing that person's negative energy or absorbing that person's opinion, because they're entitled to it, they have a right to it, there's freedom. And I think there's a lot of freedom in that. If I see someone who has got racist, sexist, or certain views, beliefs that I don't believe in, and there's loads of people like that, that is their belief to have. They have the right to feel like that. They don't have the right to then impact on my life by, trying to abuse me, or they don't have the right to try to hurt me. Nobody does. That's a different thing, but they have a right to have their opinion to what they think. So personal development means you choose your battles. If you're confident within yourself, if you know that that you love yourself and you care about who you are, then you're not as concerned with what other people think. You're not comparing yourself to other people, and you're not allowing other people to make you feel inferior. And I'm not saying it's as simple as that, because you don't just get there one day. You don't just wake up and feel completely secure within yourself. You don't just wake up and feel not affected by things, but you can learn to do that. You can learn to look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is, if you feel good, if you're confident within yourself, if you like who you are, then that's good enough. Not everyone's going to like you, and that's not even important. I wouldn't even want everyone to like me, because what I mean by that is, if everyone likes you, then that means you are not, well, no, you can be, no, that's the wrong thing to say, because that's the wrong thing to say. If you're a likable person, then that's good. And being a sociable person who, when you're around in different environments, you can just vibe with people, that is good. So I'm not trying to say that's a negative thing. If you're someone that has opinions, or and I'm not saying negative or positive opinions, just opinions. So you speak your mind, you are someone that is very in touch with your feelings, you're someone that's very in alignment with yourself, the likelihood is, at some point along the journey of life, there are going to be people who don't like you. So if you've reached a certain age in life and you've never come across everyone likes you, or you've never come across any situation where there's been that bit of tension and conflict, which does happen, that's part of life, then it either means you've held on to, you've not really shared how you feel sometimes. It could mean that you have just put yourself in environments where people are so similar to you that you know that you're going to be liked, because you haven't really stepped out of that comfort zone. Or there could be other reasons, but for me, I don't see it as a bad thing. I love having debates sometimes on Facebook. I'll choose if it's the type of debate where it's disrespectful, or the type of thing which I think is not productive. But there's lots of times where I will be in a group, or I will be on Facebook and see a message or a post, and YouTube as well, and I'll join and have a respectful, mature discussion where we both disagree, and we'll even say, have a good day, we disagree on this, but it's been nice having a chat, because I like to learn from other people, and I'm as a counsellor, but also I'm going to train possibly to be a psychologist as well. I like to understand why people feel the way they do. I'd rather sit down with someone who hates me because they've never ever met me, but they hate black people. I would rather sit in front of them and find out why. It doesn't mean that I'm going to agree with the reasons, because there is no reason. There's no reason to hate someone, whether it's a woman, a man, or a person because of their colour. If you have not interacted with them, if they've done something to you, then that would make sense. But to just hate based on features of a person doesn't make sense, but they still have the right to feel like that. So I would sit down and I would have that conversation, because I'm strong enough within myself to know that whatever they say and whatever reasons they have is not going to impact on how I feel about myself. So personal development, guys, before I end this, because I've come up to 20, I said 15-20 minutes for live stream. Just work on, think of things that you can do to improve yourself, to evolve, to improve as a human being, to be the person you want to be. Work on it, put them habits in place, put the eating and drinking habits in place, put the exercise habits, so they're all physical stuff, put the mental stuff in place. Stop talking to yourself in a negative way. start talking to yourself in a positive way. Start believing in your, the possibilities that are out there for you. Start being free with your thoughts, being free with your feelings. Yesterday, this is before I go, I've gone over, haven't I, again? I was watching Dragon's Den, and Dragon's Den is one of my favourite programmes. The Apprentice, Dragon's Den, anything that's to do with business, I just love. I love the fact that people go into the arena, sell their product, try and get money for it, and they're not, they're willing to fail, because sometimes the dragons, the majority of the time, are not going to do. Gary Neville, now I'm not a football fan, but I know names of footballers. And you have a picture, don't you? Have an idea in your head sometimes of like sports stars or football people or singers, because we're just seeing them in their element doing what they do. I don't watch football, so I don't know, but I know Gary Neville because I know like the Neville brothers and stuff. Dragon's Den was so interesting because it's like he was completely different to what I thought. I know, and that's bad, isn't it? Because I was making assumptions. But he was so like interesting as like a person, and I thought he's only on there as a guest, but I thought he would make a really good dragon, like to be on there all of the time. But it's back to the reason I'm sort of bringing that up, I suppose, is that all of us can develop into the type of person we want to be. But also, there's a lot of people that will be making assumptions about who you are based on certain things. People will make assumptions based on me as a counsellor. A counsellor is supposed to behave in a certain way. A counsellor is supposed to dress a certain way. Some people won't come to me as for counselling because I'm not going to be what they want. But then my clients who want to work with me will come to me. We can't mould ourselves into who we think society wants us to be. We have to be who we are. We will always find people who gravitate towards us if we be who we are. But if we keep being like a chameleon and changing who we are, then you can't win. You can't win by pretending to be someone that you're not. So yeah, the whole Gary Neville thing, even though I went round in a circle, it's just like a respect thing. I suppose it was just more, I was just surprised at like how like different he was to like what I think a footballer, even though that doesn't even make sense because all footballers are human beings and stuff. He just wasn't arrogant or anything, and he was just laid back, and even how he dressed and just how he talked to he was had an energy, like it almost feels like he wouldn't be in that field like a sportsman. He had like gentle energy, that was it. He wasn't like sports person in the terms of what I'd think gentle energy, nice person seemed to be. So work on yourself more than you work on your job. Create some habits that you can maintain. Implement some ways that you can evolve as a person, that you can just incorporate personal development into your life. That's all I would say. It will change your life if you just decided today that personal development is going to be the thing that you're going to take throughout 2024, that you're going to take throughout your life. Then it will change your life. Can't say more than that. I'm not the expert in this field, but I'm just giving you my experience of how personal development has been used in my life. There are lots of gurus out there. Jim Rohn, I would recommend. Les Brown. There's Tony Robbins. There's Alan Watts. There's Earl Nightingale. I'm just throwing out names of people that I listen to their stuff all the time. Gary Vee. But you can go on YouTube and you can find this stuff for free. And I'll tell you, Mel Robbins, there's another one. It will make a difference. It will really make a difference. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to the people that have joined on the live stream. I also appreciate the likes that you've given. I don't really go live much, but you can find me. I mainly do my Facebook lives on a Monday, and that will be on my Facebook page, Marianne Hanson Counselling Service. I've also got another channel on here, which is a lifestyle channel called Marianne Living Life. You can find me on TikTok as Mazzy407 and Marianne H Counsellor, and also on Instagram as Marianne Hanson Counsellor. That's it. Thanks for watching everyone, and anyone watching on the replay, leave your comments, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye.